In the last few classes, we learned what a qubit is, how it is written using vectors, and how we can visualize it using the Bloch sphere. Up to now, the qubit was mostly sitting still, but computation begins only when we change the state of a qubit, and that brings us to today's topic. Today, we introduce quantum gates. A quantum gate is an operation applied to a qubit. Just like a classical logic gates NOT and OR, quantum gates transform input states into output states. But there is a key difference. A classical gate acts on bits, but a quantum gate acts on state vectors. That means quantum gates are mathematical transformations. Specifically, quantum gates are matrices, and they act on qubits using matrix multiplication. Every quantum gate is linear, reversible, and unitary. Let's recall how qubits are written in the vector form. State 0 is written as on 0 and state on is written as 0 on. This means the top number is the amplitude of 0 and the bottom number is the amplitude of on. In this class, we will talk about three Pauli gates: Pauli X gate, Pauli Y gate, and Pauli Z gate. The Pauli X gate is a 2x2 matrix and is the quantum version of NOT gate. We can write it as x equals 0 on 0. Now let's apply the Pauli X gate to our state 0. We can write it as like this. Now we will multiply row by column one step at a time. For the top entry, we take 0 times on plus on times 0, which equals 0. For the bottom entry, we take 1 times on plus 0 times 0, which equals 1. So the resultant vector is 0 on, or we can say it is the vector representation of state on. So the Pauli X gate flips the state 0 to state on. Now apply the Pauli X gate to state on. After the matrix multiplication, we get the resultant vector on 0, which is the vector representation of the state 0. So the Pauli X gate flips the state on to state 0. Remember that on the Bloch sphere, state 0 is at the north pole and state on is at the south pole. So Pauli X gate performs a 180-degree rotation about the x-axis. Now let's discuss about the Pauli Z gate. It is represented as z equals on 0 0 minus 1. Unlike the Pauli X gate, the Pauli Z gate does not flip the state, it flips the phase. Now apply the Pauli Z gate to the state 0. We see that the top entry becomes on and the bottom entry becomes 0. So nothing changes. Now if we apply the Pauli Z gate to state on, we get the top entry as 0 and the bottom entry as minus 1. So the Pauli Z gate flips the phase or sign. This is a phase flip, not a bit flip. As far we have seen that the Pauli X gate flips the bit or state and the Pauli Z gate flips the phase. The Pauli Y gate combines both effects. We write the Pauli Y gate as y equals 0 minus I 0. Now apply the Pauli Y gate to our state 0. We get the top entry as 0 and the bottom entry as I. So after applying the Pauli Y gate, the state flips and gains a phase. Similarly, we can apply the Pauli Y gate to the state 1. In the Bloch sphere, Pauli Y gate performs a 180-degree rotation about the y-axis and it flips the qubit and adds a phase. Now let's move from theory to practice. In this lab, our goal is very simple. We want to see what quantum gates actually do. Specifically, we will apply the X, Y, and Z gates, observe how the quantum state changes, visualize these changes using the Bloch sphere, and read the exact state in mathematical form. Let's begin by creating a single qubit quantum circuit. By default, when a qubit is created, it starts in the state 0. This is a reference state. Now let's visualize the initial state. First, look at the Bloch sphere. You see the Bloch vector pointing straight up. This tells us the qubit is in the state 0. Now look at the lattice output. You should see gate 0. Now let's apply the Pauli X gate and observe the resultant state. Look at the Bloch sphere. The vector flips from the north pole to the south pole. This is a 180-degree rotation about the x-axis. Now read the lattice state. You should see a state on. This tells us the Pauli X gate transformed the state 0 to state 1. Now let's reset the circuit and apply the Z gate. Notice the Bloch sphere. The vector does not move. It still points straight up. In the Bloch sphere, nothing changes. Now look at the latex output. You will see the state remains 0. For state 0, the Z gate does not introduce a visible phase difference. Now let's reset again and apply the Pauli Y gate. Observe the Bloch sphere. The vector now rotates into a different plane. Look at the latex output. You should see a state 1 with a complex phase I. This tells us the state has flipped and gained a complex phase. Now let's combine gates. We will apply the Pauli X gate first, then we will apply the Pauli Z gate. First, the X gate flips the qubit to state 1 and then the Z gate adds a phase. Check the latex output, you should see a negative 1 state. Visually, this still looks like a state 1 on the Bloch sphere, but mathematically, the phase is different. Now, let's summarize everything what we observed. The Pauli X gate performs a rotation about the x-axis, the Pauli Z gate performs a rotation about the z-axis, and the Pauli Y gate performs a rotation about the y-axis. At every step, the Bloch sphere shows geometry and the latex output shows exact mathematics. Remember that quantum computation is geometry guided by linear algebra. That's all for today's video. Hope you understand the topics properly. If you still have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Make sure that you subscribe the channel and like the video. You can share this video with your friends who are also interested in quantum computing. See you in the next video. Until then, happy quantum computing.